Hi, I'm riding the train in Seattle and I'm going north. And I'm at the previously lost station at Northgate right now. But recently there have been 3 new stations opened north of here. And now I'm going to visit them and I'm going to get off at each station and show you what they're like and tell you what I'm seeing and comment on the state of the whole project and what is the significance of all these new stations there. Here, the next stop is called Lynnwood City Center, and it is actually arguable whether you can call Lynnwood a city, but it is indeed bigger and has more of a commercial center than the other places that we just visited. If you look at what I'm seeing here, it's still suburban style development, and I think we're about to enter right into the Lynnwood Transit Center, where a lot of these buses from the suburbs converge. There we go. Lynnwood City Center. More parking, more freeway ramps, stuff like that.
All passengers must exit the train towards tomorrow.
This is the last stop, yes, that you can currently get off. Eventually, the train will reach a northern city called Everett, which is a much bigger city. And it is still well north of here, but it's basically the northern edge of the Seattle metropolis. And that's when this whole project ends, north to south, on the northern end. Okay. Here we are. Lynnwood City Center, so-called stop. On this side is the existing Lynnwood Transit Center for buses. I've come here a few times in my life to connect by bus to somewhere when I've been unfortunate to go to the suburbs by bus, which takes a very long time. This train actually helps a lot with that. Everyone did get off the train. Now it looks like more people are on it. Maybe my wagon was extra empty. What I'm gonna do now is take a walk around the station. Here in Lynnwood, there's somewhat more of a city center, like they've named the station. On one side is this transit, but I think on the other side, I should be able to find a walkway to connect to some commerce, some food, some shopping, something to do, perhaps. So looks like here there is nothing. You go right into the bus terminal. Interesting stuff. I will turn the camera and show you. This thing here is supposed to be art. Very kind of metal, edgy, modern interpretation of art. Maybe a flower, maybe something else. They did not use their imagination very much, sadly. And new garden has been planted, which is good. Some new pavement and space here. Space for rent, a kiosk of some kind. Hopefully snacks, food. Yeah, we don't have food anywhere near here. I believe somewhere in that direction I could possibly walk. Here we go. They have put signage to tell you how to get to something. We are here. There's some trails, that's interesting. Interurban trail. Edmonds College that way, but far. Lynnwood Civic Center, Lynnwood Event Center, and the mall is kind of far. So what I need to do is get on this interurban trail to be able to attempt to go to this area, which has the commerce and the food and so on. So let's see, and there's a civic center north of here, which has a fire station, a senior center, and the city hall. So that's like the old downtown. Okay, let's see if I can actually walk to anything here. I need to find this interurban trail. I am here. I hope I can find it. So I'm looking for the interurban trail and supposed boulevard towards the Alderwood Mall, which is really the Lynnwood Mall. Hopefully it's easy to spot. I had to cheat and look at my Google map, and it looks like it converges with the train station. So I'm here on the ground level, where I should be able to figure out how to catch the trail to the Alderwood Mall. You want this to be very clear to people that actually walk. However, I'm not positive how many people actually walk around here, because if you see, the place is made for cars. It's not made for walkers. The distances are high and the roads are big and cars are many. It's just built for cars to begin with, so it's very hard to retrofit it in any way. So as I'm looking for this trail, I'm gonna turn the camera around and tell you a bit my sentiment so far. So like I said, this is the first time the northern suburbs get any kind of train service like this. There's another train called the Sounder, but it only comes twice a day for 9 to 5 type of people. And the issue is that kind of train, it really is not frequent service. You know, you need frequency to be able to make it a viable option. And so what they're doing is the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest way to give service is to mirror the freeway, basically track it along the outskirts. As they go outside of the city into the suburbs, what they are doing is just another line right next to the freeway of rails. And when you get here, you're always on the freeway. But anyway, here's this interurban trail. So I'm gonna follow that and see where it takes me. And so the obvious problem with that style of development is that once you get there, what do you do? How do you walk anywhere? Because you're on the big freeway where you cannot actually develop a pleasant environment. You have the eyesore and the noise and the waste of space and all the problems that the freeway invites. And I really don't know how you can possibly mitigate that. So the fact that they're choosing to do that instead of going to the existing things like this mall or the civic center where I'm trying to go, now I have to cross the freeway. And how many people, especially less fit or elderly or small children, will actually be willing to do this kind of thing? Walk over the freeway for half a mile, whatever else, so you can get a sandwich. You saw over there, there was nothing. There was an empty kiosk, but even there, like, you have to walk a third of a mile to get to any sort of commerce. You have to cross like 7 lanes of traffic. Otherwise, you can't really get to anywhere. You see, this is a big road I'm crossing. I think the first food that you could get was around there, all the way out there from this transit center and the train station. It's because they planted on the freeway. And they've done this everywhere in the suburbs, not just here. And it's not just Seattle, it's everywhere. And the reason is the suburbs, to begin with, are not walkable places. They don't have the required population density to be made into walkable environments. So until you rezone and rebuild the suburbs into actual cities, the train can't really do much more than what it does here, where it just connects to existing transit hubs on the freeway. And that's really what they're going for. Now, what that means for the people of these suburbs, if they want to get on the train and not have to go through the nightmarish drive to Seattle during rush hour for work and back, that could take like 30 to 60 minutes in traffic easily. And you stay there in good luck. And then you have to know where to park. It costs a lot of money. It's just stress. So if you want to avoid that, take the train, leisurely walk. Well, that means you have to get outside your house, look up for the nearest bus. If you're lucky, it's some 5 to 10 minutes away from your house. Walk to there, wait for the bus, get on the bus. Bus takes you to the station. Walk from the transit center to the train station. Wait for the train, get on the train, wait for the train to arrive to Seattle, and then walk to your job. So it's still not that convenient. Compared to people like me that live in the city, our trains actually go through the neighborhood. From my neighborhood, I can catch my train, and that's within a few minutes. And that's it. I have a direct shot to downtown Seattle, and I have a direct shot to the airport within 20 minutes each of them. And that really puts me among the most convenient places in the entire metropolis. And this train, the project here, the Sound Transit train, is really the biggest project of all, aiming to relieve this metropolis, the Seattle metropolis, from the car dependency. And this is the first time they're reaching these suburbs with that project after it's been in the works since 1995. So we're talking 20 years till they reach the suburbs. And this is the state it's in. Once you get to the suburbs, now I'm like going on a hike by the freeway, trying to get anywhere, you see, because I don't want to take the bus. I'm just doing this as an experiment, you know. I could take the bus and see what that's like. That's another mission for another day, but I want to see if I was to come with my family to Lynnwood by train, what does it look like? Can I do something pleasant? Well, so far I'm walking by traffic for a good 10 minutes at my 6'2" tall male pace. Well, if I was here with my wife and kids, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere by now. For 20 minutes, it would have been a big problem. So I'm trekking. I don't know how far I'll get, but you see the limitations of the approach they're taking. So what is the solution? What is the fix for this? It is to, like I said, you have to rebuild the suburbs entirely. You have to make the suburbs denser. The suburbs, they have to run their own networks of transit. So far they're just running these buses, but they don't have the frequency to run trains or streetcars, or even to make the bus all that convenient to go through the neighborhood really close to you, like it does in the city. And so there's no solution truly, other than a long slog of actually urbanizing the suburbs, rebuilding the suburbs. That would take something like half a century to a century. That's how long it took to build the suburbs since the 1950s. And now we have to, in a way, reverse that. And at least Washington actually has a law which forces these suburbs, every little city or town or entity that has above a certain number of people has to actually urbanize by law. There's a Growth Act, so-called, since the 90s, where actually pushes these cities to go in this direction. Because if you go to places like Denver, Texas, wherever, they don't even have that, so they're just continuing building the old school sprawl, and nothing is even urbanizing over there. So they're creating more and more and more of the problem. At least here we're taking like little baby steps to fixing the problem. Over there, it's like in the other direction. So that's one reason I like living in Washington, because we actually are trying to do something about this. We have the laws, we have the intent, but how far we'll get is very frustratingly slow. Like this train, 20 years to reach the suburb of Lynnwood right here. And it's a pretty major suburb. I think tens of thousands of people live here. I don't know how many exactly, 50, 70, 40, I don't know, but a lot, maybe even more. And the issue is that all these people have to be car dependent for the foreseeable future. Otherwise, the epic journey I described has to commence. If they are to take the bus, then the train. And if you're car dependent, everyone is car dependent. Everyone has to go to the same choke points, the same road, the same everything, the freeway, the same downtown where the jobs are, etc. And that means that we will always have traffic, you always have gridlock, there will never be enough capacity, there will never be relief, and the relief is supposed to be this train. But once the train dumps you here, then what? And that's the problem. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can even get to this mall, but I think I'm starting to see commerce. I'm seeing this restaurant there, some kind of new condo has been built over there, and my trail continues that way for quite a while. I see a Hilton hotel, so hotel means there's a reason to visit, right? So let's see what is here. I think it's the beginning of the mall, and I'll see how good that is for hanging out and what I can do there. Here I am still trekking. On my left hand is 4 lanes of road, 35 miles limit, which no one follows, so cars are going 50. And on my right side is the freeway over here. Pleasant walk, you know, after the train. and I'm trekking and trekking, trying to get a sandwich or something. I'm just trying to do something. I want to say that I went to Lynnwood by train and I was actually able to do something. Let's see. It's crazy. The walkability is kind of a sad joke around here. This is kind of a sad situation here because I'm on this so-called interurban trail. And this is the main trail that's supposed to connect the so-called city of Lynnwood, you know, the functional parts of it that are not just single family dwellings. And they've put this trail on the freeway too. Just like they've put the train on the freeway. Like everything goes on the freeway in this freaking place. That's really it. It's like freeway-oriented development. That's what it is. It's not transit-oriented development. Check out here the bird's eye view of the beautiful interurban trail of Lynnwood. My God, power wires, a freeway, another road just for good measure right here. And this here, some condos are called the city center, which is funny because I don't see no city center at all. Where the hell is the city center? I just see roads. This is madness. Look at this beauty right here. Some kind of electric power grid stuff, freeway, road converging, second road going under. So it's like crisscross of two roads and a freeway and a little power station, power lines. And this here is the beautiful interurban trail that the people of Lynnwood get to enjoy as they get around town. And I'm having to yell, even though I have a lavalier microphone, because it's really, really loud. And I don't want to know how much pollution from cars I'm ingesting right now. But yeah, you know, you talk about how the Soviets built very depressing environment, soul crushing commie blocks, gray concrete, etc. But how is this any better, honestly? How is this better? Look, I'm completely surrounded by concrete and roads and traffic and noise. It's just as depressing to me, and you know, believe me, I've seen my fair share of commie blocks, as you can see or hear by my accent. Yeah, I don't know where the hell I am. I think I'm approaching this mall. It's a lot farther than the map made it look. God knows where it is. I'm feeling lost out here. It is crazy. This is the American version of the commie block dystopia. I am seeing a sea of traffic and freeways and roads and power lines. Oh my God. So I had to switch to time-lapse mode to show you just the experience I was having for a bit walking by the freeway and by this road. On this road here, the limit says 35, but no joke, they're going like 50, 60 miles per hour. They can easily kill you if you just, if they swerve or if you step on the road by mistake. And that is really making me cringe and making me sour about the whole experience. Now I've approached here on my left side some kind of strip mall development. This is like the first sign of anything other than simply roads ever since I've gotten off the train. This is crazy. It's been, I don't know, half an hour, 20 minutes of very fast walking, and I've now arrived to this strip mall. That's really what there is here. And of course, when you get to a strip mall, the characteristic of a strip mall that you see is this parking lot, you know, because the whole thing is for cars. It's not for you, the human. It's for cars. You have to arrive by car. There's no other way. You see, there's not even a sidewalk to enter through here. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. What the hell am I doing here? But you have to come here, and it's the whole bulk of the space is dedicated to a parking lot, to cars, and a tiny sidewalk over here is for you, the pedestrian. So you can just enter a business, pay money, sit usually. It's not for walking, it's not for using your body. It's crazy. So I have entered a strip mall after all this walking, where I can enjoy stuff like Xfinity's office, Marshall's discount clothing, and a mattress outlet. Amazing stuff. So I don't know if I'll be coming back here by train unless I have a very specific reason. I will walk a different way to return to the train station, see a little bit more of Lynnwood that way. But this is crazy to me. It's just cars, 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 cars. Ever since I arrived, I've seen thousands of cars, and I have seen like 4 or 5 people walking. And now in the parking lot, I see people walking among hundreds of cars. That is your experience as you get off the train from Lynnwood. And it just blows my mind, and it makes me sad. It's just crazy. That's why I've never been able to live in the suburbs. I would be so depressed if I was surrounded by this. This would be my outing. You know, what do you do on your day off? Go have some fun. Come right here to the Xfinity store in the parking lot. Amazing. And I don't even know how to get through here, how to get to the main part of the mall, because again, it's made for cars. It's not made for pedestrians to get through this stuff efficiently, to get to something enjoyable. I don't know, guys. How can you do it? How can you live in the suburbs? I just cannot do it. Look at what you see. Wow, look at that. That is exactly the American version of commie blocks. Giant parking lots with one-story strip malls. I guess at least people can afford cars. But to be honest, in the Eastern Europe, Soviet Union, Eastern Bloc, etc., people were more communal because they lived together and they took the transit and they walked. And here it's very atomized, atomic existence. Everyone is in their little car, little silo, little capsule, traveling around at breakneck speed to get to the next place where they sit and never walk, never use their body. I don't get it. So yeah, I'm walking through the strip mall jungle now. It's just endless. And I'm just on the edge of it. I haven't even begun covering this whole thing. I need to get out of it so I can walk the other way, but it's taking me in the wrong direction because there's no way to cut through. Oh my gosh, now I'm in the edge here somewhere. You see, if I'm lucky, I can squeeze by this fence over here, by the electric transformers. There's a little gap they haven't closed with fencing. There we go. So I can go back without having to walk half a mile just to get out of the parking lot. The madness. And as soon as you exit, what are you greeted by? Another parking lot. Amazing. But anyway, I see there's a cinema. So that's like the main part of the Lynnwood Mall. I just don't know how to get there. I think I have to walk by this road for about another half an hour to be able to go right over there. I don't know, man. Okay, I just checked. I am indeed half an hour away from the Lynnwood Transit Center and train station where I arrived. And I'm still walking and walking to get to this mall. Now, mind you, the average person will not walk, and they cannot walk as fast as me. So is it walkable from the train station to the mall, where there's really nothing else in Lynnwood other than this freaking mall? So if you want to get to the mall from the transit center, you need more transit, because the average person cannot even walk it if they wanted to. I can, but I can tell you I'm never doing it again, because it sucks. Like, I'm still walking by the freeway. This entire time I've been walking by the freeway. That is just sick. And every business here has to have an enormous parking lot. So you just, to cross anything, you have to cross so much parking lot, so much road. It's just not possible to walk around here. So what the hell is the point of putting a train station right here? That's my question. What exactly are they going for? And they're going for driving to the train. That's how they alleviate car dependence, by driving. I don't get it. Or take a train or a bus, another type of car. It's just madness. Like, they need to redo the entire suburbs. Like I said, it's gonna take 50 to 100 years till these places become even remotely walkable, and to me, therefore, remotely livable. Now, I've taken some streets. You notice all around me, there's barely ever a person, because the walking experience is just abysmal. And I'm walking, it's like I'm walking through a ghost town. It's like dystopia, where I'm just the only person and everyone else is in a capsule, in a metal capsule, and belching exhaust and noise at me as I'm walking, and I'm like, oh, where the hell am I? What is this place? I don't understand how anyone ever thought this was a good idea to build, and how this is a desirable living experience, when for thousands of years until now, we had such cozy ways of living next to each other. Now, when you are a tourist, do you go to Italy or all the French cities, whatever, medieval Europe, Japan, where we made cities the old way, any of the Mediterranean, Istanbul, and how charming they are, and how picturesque and beautiful, and how fun they are to visit. Is any tourist ever coming to Lynnwood right here, to this parking lot? Look at what I'm seeing. This is it, guys. This is the grandeur of the Alderwood Mall in Lynnwood. This is AMC, IMAX, Dolby, whatever. That is Macy's, the prestige of that brand, right? And that is a shut down restaurant. And that is who knows what. But more than anything is a parking lot. And I don't know how to exit it and go anywhere. And I need to return, and I don't want to walk by the freeway. So now I'm lost in the suburbs, in the parking lots, in the strip malls, in the dystopia. Oh my God, guys, it's happening. There's something I can enjoy here. It's a Brazilian coffee shop that makes Brazilian cheese bread. So I found something I can do here, enjoy it, and go back to the city. So here it is, guys, my consolation prize for walking 40 minutes through the madness. I get a Brazilian cheese bread sandwich or two, an espresso. They couldn't even give me a proper water for my espresso. And of course we have this place in the city, but this is the first thing that actually appeals to me that I saw since I arrived here. Okay, I got the coffee and I ate the cheese bread. And now I can say that I actually did something after coming to this cursed place. Now I need to exit as fast as possible somehow through the maze of parking lots and strip malls, and get as fast back as possible to the train, which was 40 minutes the direct way, but this is a little more roundabout because my wife just messaged me that I have to go watch the kids while she goes pick up her father from the airport. And he comes unexpectedly like this because he uses military flights. So here I am, way out here in the suburb with no car. And I actually now have a real life scenario to see how fast I can get to my Seattle neighborhood from the Lynnwood Mall without a car. Let's see. Let's see the time now. It is 11:50 as I'm trying to leave here. Let's see how fast I can make it back home. I think I have at least 30 minutes of very fast walking, possibly 40, until I even get to the train station. I have to go through a gazillion parking lots and strip malls and roads until then. Let's see, the challenge begins. Here is my lovely view on my walk through Lynnwood. We have the chiropractor over there, very nice, needed service. Over here, Bank of America. Over there, a credit union. 5 lanes of traffic just to get into the mall. And the other road is another 4 that goes across. Now, I need to understand what is the best way back. I can't make mistakes. The distances are too long. So yeah, I am able to walk across and up this hill, I think. Yeah, that's the best way. So I'm gonna walk up there, 188th Street. Another thing about the suburbs that makes them very hostile to walkers is the signs or the pedestrian lights like never turn. It takes 10-15 minutes to turn. My God, you just wait one light and you miss your train and you are late for work if you're walking around here, or you gotta jaywalk. Now, green was exactly aligned with me as a pedestrian walking across the road. Nobody was actually driving where I had to cross, but the light still wasn't turning for me to cross, so I just did it. It's just crazy, like, it's completely hostile to walking around here. And then they say, oh, we're so concerned about the environment, climate change, fossil fuel emissions. Are you really? What are you actually doing? Nothing. I did a little time lapse so I can show you the way here. I'm seeing my walk. I'm showing you my experience as a pedestrian in Lynnwood trying to get to the train station. And I'm dying inside, guys. I am so bored. My aesthetic sensibilities have been offended. The noise is unbearable. And if you don't get cancer from the toxic fumes of the cars, you definitely get it from the power lines I had to walk under for half an hour over there at the interurban trail, which seriously is a sick joke. That it kind of even directs you to that from the train station. Oh, go there, that's the good way. Oh my God. And so, I don't know what to tell you. It would take half a century to a century to fix this mess. I don't understand who in their right mind ever thought it was a good idea to live like this, to invest trillions and trillions of dollars and decades into this style of development. So now we are trying to fix it for another century. This is madness. This is really crazy madness. So I don't know, man. Cars are zooming past me 50 miles per hour. It's very unpleasant. And my only compatriot over there was pushing a shopping cart. He doesn't have any other means of getting around, obviously. So it's just me and him walking out here. Wild ride. I'm getting towards something over there. Another strip mall, truly, because there's nothing else here, but it's a convention center and an event center, allegedly. And that's where the Hilton is, and the Best Western, and all that other copy-pasted stuff. And then yet another strip mall away, and I'll be able to get back to the train station, I believe. Wish me luck. Oh, I can walk. I am walking. Look, a Tesla Cybertruck is in Lynnwood. Incredible. Right here by this glorious strip mall. Fun Cuts is there. Another Corvette passes by. Ironically, yes, here people actually are rather affluent, and yet this is their living environment. We're just, look at this, 6 lanes of traffic right here. And so you're like completely just in a car world. It's shocking to see, because I don't come to the suburbs very much, exactly for this reason. And then you come and it's shocking. You try to do anything with no car and it's shocking. And you're like, whoa, do people really live this way? Here's the convention center. I wonder what conventions happen here. I'm sure it's lots of fun. You arrive here to Lynnwood, to this convention, and this is your environment, and this is what you do. Your hotel is right there, behind or in front. There's the freeway, very convenient, I'm sure. And there's nothing else. No one is at the convention center either. There we go. Lynnwood Event Center. followed by yet another row of strip malls. And yet another road of 6, 7 lanes. Looks like I have found myself on a state highway that I have to walk by and cross to get back to the train station. It's crazy, guys. I don't know. I can't live this way. And so my camera is going to die, my battery. I can tell you the so-called walkable design or the transit-oriented development, planting the station over there, calling it a city center, is a complete farce. It doesn't exist. Like, there's nothing you can do here on foot when you get off the train. Only thing you can do is get in your car that you have parked there in advance, or get on a bus. That's it. If you try to walk here, it's a harrowing, depressing, frustrating experience, which I hope I illustrated properly. It could be much worse too, by the way. This is an affluent suburb. It's a nice place. It's not by any means dangerous. I don't see much trash and stuff like that either. But altogether, all there is here are roads, strip malls full of corporate copy-pasted businesses, very cheaply made, very toxic food and other goods. And that's it. And you don't even get to see the nice parts where people actually live in their little cul-de-sacs and stuff. And so, because they're kind of tucked in, it takes like a giant walk to get there. And they're mostly dead ends. So you have no business there by design. And so you're walking out here in this environment, corporate copy-pasted dystopia for cars, and you can't do anything enjoyable. And why take the train to Lynnwood? There's just no reason at all to go to IHOP. We have a million IHOPs. To go to Panda Express, to Denny's, to the Tropical Tan, to Taco Del Mar, to T-Mobile. You know why? Why? It's all the same every time. Every city, every suburb, every strip mall, it's always the same. It's copy-pasted. They don't even try to make it nice. Olive Gardens over there, woohoo. That's actually might be one of the closest Olive Gardens to where we live. Ironically, maybe there's another one, but I don't know these things. But yeah, what can you do? This is what is immediately adjacent to the Lynnwood Transit Center and train stop. That concrete in the back, there's the train station. So this is what you're greeted and what you have to pass through to get to the station. Look at this gargantuan road. How many lanes of traffic can you count going each way? And I wonder how many minutes it would take me to cross the street here.
Wait.
This is an immense road. It's truly huge, impressive size. So I'm trying to cross here to get back to the train. And this is my environment. Okay, I can cross this way now. Okay, just another 7 lanes of traffic this way forward, and I'll be able to get to the train station. So I made it back to the station where I'm going to catch my train back to Seattle, and there are actually a lot of people waiting on this end of the line. So, you know, people are using the train, which is good. But the real big problem is that, you know, we knew this train was going to be built here for like 20 years or something like that. And yet they've done nearly nothing to prepare for it. And once you arrive here, it's not one bit walkable. All you can do is catch a bus, and that's it. Or you can hop in your car. So it's a huge wasted opportunity. You can see all around the world, Europe, Asia, Canada, how they do this much better. Here we're decades, if not centuries behind at this point when it comes to transit and walkability. It's pretty sad. So the train arrived and we've been waiting for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes just staring at it. It's locked and it's not letting us on. And that's after waiting for it for 10 minutes. So 15 minutes to catch a train now, and it's still not really working out. I don't know what the problem is. So the people here working the trains said that there's a blockage down the track now, and it's unclear when we can return. We're gonna have to use one track for both lines. Unreal and unclear when I can go back now. So we're still stuck here, and now they're discussing possibly running a bus to take us to Seattle. And I don't know when I can return home so my wife can pick up her father from the airport. That sucks. Good job, Seattle. So I came up here to Lynnwood, to the suburbs, to make this YouTube video, and now it appears my worst fears have happened and I'm stuck in the suburbs because the train has broken down. People waiting all around me, they're telling us there's no ETA, they're discussing buses, picking us up. We don't know when we can go back to Seattle. Meanwhile, my wife is waiting for me to come watch her kids while she picks up her father, but I cannot make it anymore, so it looks like she'll have to load the kids up into the car and go get her father that way, and I am stuck. So not only is it actually impossible to do anything and walk when you get to the suburbs by train, but the train is unreliable and you may get stuck in the suburbs. And it's actually not a good idea to come because there's also no good alternative means of transportation. There's a bus down there, I guess, but it's very slow. So there was no way I could have made it and helped my wife out with the kids and with her dad. That really sucks. Basically unreliable, and it's built in a hellscape where you can't walk.